the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Just last week, and the Ghana Statistical Service, Edibeto Dwa say Omanyi isikasam enhyehyɛ ne isikasam ntotoye anyini ade aduro percentage a wonfrɛ 5.5%. Ya na kyerɛ sɛ isikasam ntotoye ne isikasam hyehyɛ ne nyine no ɛwɔ soro. Looking at various targets, international organizations bit said the World Bank and after the International Monetary Fund SETI edemaye brana ye free the ravaging effects of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war. Now, Ghana Statistical Service assign edit to just say growth on my insakaye with respect to our economy no eye enyoma mienu data and SMS. And a Ghana Statistical Service can say data and SMS no is as a result of how my Ghana ye fast so in fact edi ejuma die no dodo na via digitalization. Now the World Bank and so at the in-depth report eba beto dwa kire mu a my Ghana rolling out over 30 digital platforms yana a spread across all government sectors and agencies. Obo digital platforms no bebrebe. Na wohwemu a dodo no na rolled out by Ghana Vice President then yana His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Na eno ene anwumre President edema Imani Africa Franklin Kujo edin sem kakra todwa with respect to statistics a free Ghana Statistical Service of a reporter a free the World Bank on Ghana's 5.7 economic growth for 2024 economic year. Now according to Franklin Kujo me quote no baby na fe dru baby nso a nchiremu kakraba. Franklin Kujo say I have now recognized the success of former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's digitalization agenda, stating that recent developments have confirmed the effectiveness of his vision. Enti Franklin Kujo, oya President Dema Imani Africa, ene chirim se afei ena wa hunu enkonimdie soronko a former Vice President His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni swade hunu na eye digitalization ni swade hunu afei na wa hunu so emfaso ne sunsunso yie pa na Franklin Kujo enkomo a wodi nyina no eba because of Nansenya development bia in fact enya confirmation on the effectiveness of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's vision. According to Franklin Kujo, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's digitalization agenda that drove huge investment in digital infrastructure has significantly enhanced efficiency across various sectors, disproving earlier skepticism by a majority of Ghanaians, including him. And Franklin Kujo Chirimwa, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, His Excellency, na ni swade hunu ene ni trimu po kesia na efa digitalization ya eboa ma sa aban no sa bre no. In fact, edi sikapudu ehemu in terms of ensuring efficiency. Ewo digitalization aboa yipa. Na Ghana for do ni bia na omo kasa di tia ya na ono ka ho bi no. In fact, ni aseso madwen. Franklin Kujo reference data from the Ghana Statistical Service and from the World Bank, which attributed higher economic growth in 2024 to digitalization and the rollout of several digital platforms, which Franklin Kujo confirmed that almost 99% of those digital platforms were rolled out by Ghana's former Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This, he noted, aligns with remarks made by Finance Minister Dr. Casey Latoforsen during the delivery of his budget, and also during a press conference made earlier this month by former Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam. Kudjo asserted that based on the Ghana Statistical Service data, every Ghanaian, including Dr. Amin, was correct in stating that it was Bawumia's digitalization initiatives that contributed to the country's improved economic performance that even overshadowed the target set by both the IMF and the World Bank. Enti Franklin Kudjo nature mu say, and someone Papa Dr. Amin Adam, your former finance minister, Edibetu Ja, and in someone on the floor of parliament, finance minister Dr. Kiselatu Force and Edibetu Ja about the growth of Ghana's economy. And it is Dr. Amin Adam, the buyer say, Ghana's economic growth, OSHA data a free Ghana Statistical Service. Now he report a free World Banker. A chere say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, any swadi hunu, and the economic growth for Drew on. And a Franklin Kudjo Chirimwa. In fact, 100% on Dr. Amin Adam. Because some digital platforms are hodwa World Bank boboy and ono Franklin Kudjo nyabra hwehwe ni nyina emu. Emu be 99%. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and rolling ni nyina out. And today, say these digital platforms abwa ama targeta World Bank, targeta IMF, asset them on money with respect to economic growth. Ahuri atrasa. And yet Obia is correct to say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, His Excellency, and this wadi hunu, and in the trim pa na digitalization agenda, and they do a minor to me a drew some way. Highlighting the impact of digital reforms, Franklin Kudjo pointed to advancements in service delivery, financial inclusion, and governance. And in all this, Mr. Franklin Kudjo accepted the fact that it all boils down to the drive from His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He noted, Bawumia's digitalization drive has yielded tangible results, making processes easier for businesses and citizens alike, and largely has resulted in the sharp growth of this country's economy. He emphasized that while initial doubt surrounded the feasibility of such large-scale reforms, Ghana's current progress in digital transformation that was championed by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia proves that the country is on the right path, even in terms of our economy. Despite acknowledging this achievement, Franklin Kudjo also identified areas that require further attention, including cyber security and improved internet accessibility in rural areas. He urged the current government to address these challenges to fully harness the benefits of digitalization that was being preached by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia during his campaign tours and ensure inclusive technological progress for all Ghanaians. The way Nsem kakra, President Edema Imani, ya no a strong critique of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Edi Tuja, ya nedi ya wabeja tumuse, enka ni nsem bia no omoka, say digitalization, any link with the economy. Now Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say economy na tete apansa nti, na we dwane free economy, no akọ digitalization, no mo de huru no mo de se no mo de twehwe na idea. What Babeja Tum say, 21st century industrialization, robotics, artificial intelligence, and the 21st to an 24th industrial revolution. Say, unye wadwene say, obe bie wadwene mu e digitalization economy nkosoro na nedie thank God, say the say Franklin Kujo abejatum, because the data and the analysis speak for itself. Say proper digitalization drive is efficient in ensuring that every country's economy sees enormous growth. A B, any share, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia de Guakwemo with respect to the digitalization drive and confirmation about Ghana. Yeah, strong economic growth. Yeah, actually, in 2024, yeah, 5.7. Yanum, so mobile resetting. They were more at the about 4%. Say, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia, and come on, I would DNA in someone our car. The Ghana phobia, and tears into a more tree, no Franklin could you come. And a day on my Sikasamun to tree. A true sam pepper. Now, I want some fufu.
It is extremely important that people appreciate the fact that we are dealing with an area that is not just like having the discretion to describe what you see. Essentially, you deal with numbers. It is numerical in nature.
Thank you.
So we need to appreciate that. Mr. Speaker, I'm holding what Dr. Atufo-Asen came to this August House to present to us. Just an extract. And I'm quoting him. 2025 budget speech presented by Dr. Kaisel Atufo-Asen, MP, Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, we inherited an economy in deep crisis, hard hit with debt. Mr. Speaker, the same budget they presented this year. I want each and every one here, Tom, Dick, and Harry, to understand the fact that anybody that concentrates only on the nominal figure when it comes to debt is suffering from unconscious incompetence. Because, Mr. Speaker, practically, you can pick a very rich man such as Kwame Despite, as we all know, whose debt runs into billions of dollars. And you can pick somebody like Dr. Stephen Amua. I also have a company. My debt running into just thousands of Ghana cedis. But mine is an issue because it can only be analyzed based on my asset value. So we talk about debt to GDP. And this is where I want us to teach the students out there the right thing. This house is very august, and we need to accord it that reputation. It is extremely important. Mr. Speaker, they presented 61.7 thereabout percent in terms of debt to GDP that we left for them. They are saying we left it in crisis. This is their own budget. Mr. Speaker, this is 2016 budget. They did it. They left debt to GDP over 70%. It's only Ghana. I'm giving what they even wrote. It's here. It is only Ghana that a caretaker of an institution will leave a debt to asset value or percentage over 70%, comes back for the same institution, met 61.7 thereabout, and the person will describe yours because the NDC are brothers and sisters they believe only in communist inferior taxes, propaganda. They think it's all about lies. Mr. Speaker, let's not go there. We are talking about our GDP. This is what I have. This is the world's global economic growth target. It was what? 3.2%. Mr. Speaker, we left 5.7%. Mr. Speaker, this is their own budget. They just presented. This is debt to GDP is 61.7, better than yours. See this. This is the most recent budget they left. Mr. Speaker, just look at a few of the relevant items. 2016, agri growth was 2.7%. We left 2.8. Crops, they left 2.2. We left 3.2. Mr. Speaker, industry, they left 4.3. We left 7. Mr. Speaker, I think it is appropriate you are called this house the needed respect. It's a reputational house. Your constituents are watching you. So can you allow me to speak? Mr. Speaker, when it comes to mining and quarrying, they left negative 0.2. We left 9.4. When it comes to electricity, they left negative 5.8. We left 2.0. When it comes to construction, they left 8.4. We left 9.6. Mr. Speaker, then you come to services. They left 2.8. We left 5.9. Then you come to trade, repair of vehicles, household goods, negative 0.4. We left 3.6. You are telling us, oh, this is from the NDC. This is NDC's own data. It's not from MPP. You brought it. So if it's not correct, tell me. I don't think you are deceiving us. For once, I trust your work. Mr. Speaker, you come to information and communication. They left 5.6. We left 15.8. Mr. Speaker, education, all over the world, the most essential areas in any serious socio-economic jurisdiction is twofold: education and health. That was why a lot of Ghanaians were surprised that as a social democrat, you could even withdraw teachers and nurses allowances. You have no idea how to manage a sustainable economic framework. You only do propaganda. Mr. Speaker, 2016, they left 2.3. We left 2.7. Health and social work, they left 4.0. We left 4.4. Then you come to the house, you wrote that we left economy that is in crisis. Thanks be to God, talking about the economy, as I said, it's not describing what you see. Mr. Speaker, then let's talk about serious issues here. COGM against education and other aspects. In fact, the monies they are actually taken to Office of Government Machinery. Mr. Speaker, in terms of percentage increase, it is 728.22%. It has never happened in the history of this country before. Do you mean to build this economy? Do you mean to build this economy for tomorrow? Do you see the poor ones on the street there? Do you care about their future? Do you drive between Adanta and Ridge? Do you see the kids there? Have you been to Mokola? See how mothers are suffering, and you are taking everything to listen. You cause it. You are causing it. Mr. Speaker, yeah. Mr. Speaker, then we want to come to taxes. This is of great importance to me. It looks as if politics is driving all of us to the extent that we don't even care about our fiscal policies or frameworks. The NDC guys, my brothers and sisters, make arbitrary decisions in managing our fiscal space. So they say anything, they quote anything, they decide, they've forgotten that managing tax policies are calibrated in nature. You look at the relationship between the elementary or the fundamental or definitional elements of your fiscal space, then you decide to increase taxes, reduce, or even maintain what you have. I don't think they do any serious econometrics or mathematics. They just wake up and they say, we are increasing this, we are increasing that. There is nowhere in this world that you just wake up one day and say you want to increase taxes and you do. No. Check 2017 under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the man that you guys will remember one day. He actually reduced or entirely took away tax items amounting to about, in terms of nominal figures, between 12 and 17. These were the days that Kayayo tax, condom tax, real estate tax, medicines imported but not produced in Ghana. Go and check. But after we got to a situation where our fiscal space got bad, he started increasing. That's the prudent management of any economic jurisdiction. It's not the way you do yours. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to debt, even if I want to go by their figures, you have the unprecedented record in the history of this country. 2009, NDC government met total debt of 9.2 billion Ghana cedis. 2016, when they were leaving Ghana, it had moved to 122.3 billion. In terms of percentage increase, 1,222.8%. It has never occurred. Sometimes I want to ask you, nobody wants to tell me, that are you truly social democrats or capitalistic in nature? Because you can't do proper policies. You can't manage the economic indicators. So what are you? I want to know. Just as I think Peter asked Jesus, who are you? Are you socialistic? You're always bundling around propaganda. Only lies and deception. Mr. Speaker, name all the pro-poor policies in our country. Name all the pro-poor policies, both in kind and cash. Any pro-poor policy of national tenacity and international reputation, you cannot dip your hand in it. Even in this very August House, when we're passing national health insurance, you run away. Only for you to come back and say you started it. When it was Roman Catholics that had started that as a pilot project in Kwanzaa and Techiman. Every day it's about propaganda. We are doing free SHS. You kicked against it. You spoke against it. You insulted us. When you realize that Ghanaians were buying into it, so we want to do it incrementally. Mr. Speaker, they only added 25 million that year to the education budget. The fact is, NDC has to be dissolved. You have to be dissolved. It's not about numbers. You have to be dissolved. Because we are talking about quality numbers. See, our numbers are small, but quality, minority. Mr. Speaker, for this, I respect that I won't say it. But I'll tell them out today. Mr. Speaker, let's come to this, something they call 24-hour economy. I've conducted my own research. I've collected primary data from them. I've asked 31 NDC MPs. They all give different definitions. One policy, in terms of definitions, infinite.